I have a question. What did you expect to get out of your first session or your first few sessions with Dr. S? So you went in there and it's like, okay, I have a new therapist. What did you expect?
Oh, so I all I know is I was lost and in a dark place. I didn't even know what, excuse my French, the hell I was doing. So on this particular day at work, it was like a bell curve. It's good, then it's very horrible, then it's so. My ex had made a trip, then we were still married. She traveled for a wedding, and I was at work doing my job at Home Depot as a merchandiser, and I was usually a very hard working person. You know, I was doing a project, and my supervisor called out to me, Miss Kim, Miss Shaw. She paged me, but I just got a text, and for the first time, it was different. Like, hey, I want you to move out of the house before I get back, blah, blah, blah. So I read the text and I'm outside in the garden and I break down crying. Now I wasn't crying, I was crying like, what is wrong with you? You knew this was going to happen to you. Look at the mess you've put yourself in. Now remember, I traveled miles, left my life and moved here. So when she paged me, I wiped my eyes and then went sit in front of her and she was like, what's going on, DK? I was like, nothing. She said, no, what's going on? So I broke down. And I think I've noticed that thing about me when people ask me how I'm doing, persistently, especially when I've been tough, I break down. And then she says, oh, where's she from? She's Nigerian, blah, 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 blah. And then she said, oh, you should do, I'm not gonna say the other things she said, but she said some things. And she said, you should really reach out to the EAP. It will help. It's something you should do. So I'm also kind of thankful that I opened up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thankful that she persisted, because if she had done what, I'm all right, I wouldn't have got an EAP. So maybe you just have to persist a little bit more with that person. I'm just saying, because for me, I was tough, right? But I think the second and third time I broke down, and she was like, no, you need to, reach out to these people. So by then, they tell it, because I had the insurance for session, but before they could schedule, before they could match me with Dr. Susie, I kept talking to different, all those, I don't know what they're called anymore, it's in the book, but I had to, on the phone, like every time on my way back, it's, I'm just, they're like, are you thinking of harming yourself? I'm like, no. Do you have any self-care thing to do? Yeah. What, playing the piano? Can you play the piano? No. Why? Because I don't want to. Because although I love to play the piano, I'd heard repeatedly, how can you play the piano? You don't have ambitions. So, yeah, so I didn't know what to expect. I just opened up and then things turned out right. And thankfully I met with Dr. Susie, because I think eventually when my session with her ended and I was moving from Houston to Seattle, I also asked one of the therapists and we did not mesh at all. So